This is CBS 6 News, now in high definition. An annual tradition takes over the streets of Albany. Thousands come out for the 33rd Freihofer's Run for Women. Good evening, I'm Cassandra Edwards. Nearly 5,000 women from around the country and world were in Albany today for the annual Freihofer's Run for Women. And as Ash Reardon found out, we could see some changes when next year's race rolls around.
And they were off. Nearly 5,000 women running in the Freihofer's Run for Women.
It's the who's who of running, and the fact that it draws so many women of all abilities is something very special. And
women like Jacqueline Carey and her team running in memory of a cousin who died of leukemia.
You guys will never know what it's like to stand down there in the starting line with all those women. It's amazing.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of women getting together.
This year, 1,000 more people turned out for the race, bringing the total runners to about 4,800.
It seems like a lot of the increase has probably come from stepped-up social media. Really, just to go on our Facebook page, you can see so many people that, there's a lot of chitter-chatter. They're talking to each other about the race.
The sheer number of runners is creating a challenge for race organizers.
Safety has to be our key concern here. If it's not safe, we shouldn't be putting people out on the course.
The problem, parts of the course are narrow, so the organizers are looking at the possibility of changing the route.
One of the scenarios that we had talked about was to keep it on the broadest streets in town.
Not music to the ears of some runners.
I think as you make changes, I think it deters people from coming. Just stick with that got you the 4,005 plus that are running today.
In Albany, Ash Reardon, CBS 6 News.
In the 33rd Freihofer's Run for Women, the course record was safe, barely, but this morning the attendance record was shattered by almost 1,000 runners. Nearly 5,000 moms, daughters, grandmas, and world elite athletes lined up shoulder to shoulder on Madison Avenue for the annual 5-kilometer road race through downtown Albany. Saratoga native Nicole Blood led the few dozen professional runners up the hill, but the former Oregon standout would fade to a 16th place finish. Ballston Spa native Megan Hogan first ran competitively just 4 years ago as a sophomore at George Washington. The 23-year-old hung with the lead pack most of the race and ran sub 16 minutes to finish 5th. In the sprint down the hill and towards the $10,000 prize, defending champion Emily Chebet of Kenya was outkicked by a pair of Ethiopians. Mamadou Daska beat countrywoman Ahiza Kiros to the tape in a winning time of 15 minutes and 18 seconds.
This is my third time running this race. The first time I was second, the second time I was third, so I'm very happy that this time I won.
The first part of the race, I was like, okay, get comfortable. About halfway into it, I was like, this feels really good. And at the end, I just kind of went for it, and it turned out well.
I wanted to make this race exciting. It wasn't about being cautious or holding back. But when they took off hard, and the rest of the pack went too, and I tried to respond. Wasn't feeling great, so just tried to get myself together and just focus on one step at a time.
Daska's winning time of 15:18 was just 8 seconds slower than the course record set by Chebet last year. Fort Wayne, Indiana native Alyssa McCragg was the top American finisher, less than a second faster than Hogan. Three-time champion Anita Willis of Australia was 12th, 4 spots ahead of Blood.